I have just started the build on my second JAE 33FE. I have the bulkheads going in on this side piece. It's all pinned to the board, my building board, nice and flat. Not because this is going to stay flat putting the bulkheads in, but to get the bulkheads square to the sides using this included square here. So I have these aluminum angle pieces, little kit I made up, got these holes in them to pin them down. So I pin the aluminum angle down, clamp it, got it epoxied in. I'm using the G-Flex epoxy system for this part of the build. It's a slow curing epoxy, very strong, but also has a little flex to it. I am not using the battery tray, so what I've done is I've cut the ends off. Got one more to cut off this one. These two ends for the other side. Just using them to plug the holes instead of filling them with epoxy. That way if I go with a natural finish, you won't be able to tell that I did not use the battery tray. Another whatever it takes glue up. Tape, weights, clamps. Weight it down so it's nice and flat on my build board. Now walk away. Epoxying on the top of the tub, again using G-Flex. Here's an area, this bend over the nose in the front. Gotta pay attention to. Got it clamped nicely and weighted down so it can make that bend. This should give me a nice, straight, square, and strong tub. There's a bottom ski under there. It's a 3/4 inch board. Got it all clamped up and weighted down. The epoxy is curing. The tub is mostly framed. I used all G-Flex on the tub. I have minimal amount of epoxy. Watching the weight, so full joints but no excess. I used 30-minute epoxy on the lips and it's sealed on the inside and underneath the top. Sealed the inside and underneath the top before I epoxied the top on. It's also sealed in here. I have the bottom ski all epoxied together and my angles sanded here on the front and on the back. I have one coat of thin finishing epoxy all the way around it. The brass sleeves are in, front and back. Put the carbon boom rods in, sanded the edge of the holes as needed to level them up, and I have the doublers epoxied in. Here's the brass sleeve in the front, doublers epoxied in, and I have second coat of finishing epoxy on the inside. Now I can put this foam flotation in here. And epoxy this bottom plate on here. Get this closed up. I have the first coat of thinned epoxy on the inside of the sponson parts. This is my rear deck lid. That's the second coat of thinned epoxy on the inside of that. I had also got the second coat of thinned epoxy on the non-trip surface on the bottom of the front of the tub. That'll cover that foam I just put in. I've dry fitted the sponsons before I epoxy them together. Very important. 1/8 inch ply goes on the inside, 16th ply on the outside. So this is a left sponson. 1/8 inch ply on the inside on the right sponson, 16th on the outside, and the dowels for mounting the turn fin. Everything fits beautiful. Zippkits does a great job. Super easy to make accurate sponsons with this method. I find it much easier to mark these and then cut them off to length with a razor saw versus sanding them after it's glued together. We'll get gouges in the inside sheet of plywood when you're sanding them if you saw them off first. Got another pile of weights on some parts that are being epoxied together. It's the sponsons. I'll show them after the epoxy cures and I take the weights off. So I had it shimmed up with the weight on it. It shims so it clears these boom tubes. And yeah, keep her nice and tight to the foam while the epoxy's setting up. Then for this one, right here, got these shims in between the dowels. Get even pressure back in this area. Also shimmed underneath, 1/8 inch shims. Clear the boom tubes. Start to a couple beautiful sponsons. The instructions say to sand these flush to the plywood, or you can hot wire them, which you have a hot wire bow, it's the preferred way. It's just so much cleaner, less mess. It's just easier. Work your way off the ends, and then start in from there. The hot wire bow gives you feedback as far as how fast to cut with it. So down this corner, pause a moment, come straight up off the end there. Just start this cut right here, come off the end, start cutting the other way. Stay right in the cut around that bend there. And then for this tip, just cut both ways. Finish up the end. So for those not familiar with Zippkits' way of building sponsons, real simple, plywood over foam, laser cut, get all your angles, your angle of attack on the sponson, the non-trip surface. So you laminate the two plywood surfaces to the foam with your boom tubes in there. And then I'll start adding all these pieces here to these surfaces right on around. Got the tub sanded and the nose block epoxied on. Got some pieces on the outside put on the sponsons. So 1 and 2. And now the ride pads are on. All right, got those pieces in on the bottom and the back on the sponsons. Let them cure. Sun is out. Our snow's not all melted yet, but take advantage of the nice weather. Get this nose block planed down. Okay, got a tip for you. Trust me on this one. For a nice uniform radius, all the way across this nose here. Don't just start sanding the radius all willy-nilly. I have the top surface and the bottom surface matching the tub, and the front was square. So I've sanded a 45 here and a 45 here. And if you look at them, you can sand them and make the width of the 45s uniform. Look at the width of it. Sand it so you have the same width angle here and here, and the same width right on the front. Look at how it's already establishing that radius, and it's uniform. Watch how a little bit of sanding I'll have to do, taking these corners off to finish this radius. Hit each corner, split the difference to each angle that you'll establish. So I'll go over this and put the final touches on it, and then I'll show it to you. So I was eyeballing the highlighted spots. See the shadows of the radius where it's not round. And there it is. Nice, beautiful, uniform radius. I am really focusing as I'm building this JAE 33FE on light, straight, and strong. So trying to do everything best I can in that interest. Using the G-Flex for all the framing, the 30-minute and the 5-minute epoxy where the instructions call for. So like for the framing of the tub and the sponsons and the bottom ski, use the G-Flex. All the sheeting, one thin coat of epoxy to seal it. Then I'm sanding the epoxy to cut the oils off it to get good bonds. Second coat of epoxy be when I glue it on. So I have these angles sanded on here. These pieces are ready to go on the sponsons next, and then I have the top sheeting and the nose blocks, and this 33 will be framed. Another 33 framed. Why another JAE 33FE? I know I'm not a fan of building the same model twice, but I wanted to redo. I've learned a lot since I built my first one, as far as building straight, light, and strong. So putting all that into this one, as far as types of epoxy, how much I use, keeping the weight of the finishing epoxy down to a minimum. So it's gonna be an 8S setup, and see how fast we can go. Still got a ways to go yet. Got to put the final coat of sealer on it and rig it. Nothing's in this yet. It's just mocked up, but it's coming. Keep an eye out for it. See how fast we can go with a 33 on 8S.